Hmm. Hey man, you ever watch Blues Brothers? You know, they're like two priests. They were kind of like, you know, dealt with all the dirty people. You know what I mean? They're like clergy, but not clergy. But they still had to go visit the penguins. Did you know that I still had penguins, as in nuns, as teachers when I was in school? And while I was there, they did away with them. By the time I got to second grade, no nuns were allowed to be teachers. No, that had nothing to do with me though. That just was just a fun fact about. I went to Catholic school when I was younger, St. Mark's. Yep. And you know what else is a fun fact? I have four priests in my family, and I'll let you with that fact. And that's gonna play into my 5D chess game. I'm gonna start giving you guys, seeding you guys up with some stuff that's gonna help you along your way, if you know what I mean. Well, the next video here, we got episode 42, and we're doing well, this one says this video is using breathing controlling, producing saliva, oscillating emotions, autopilot, phasing intensity, synthetics blending into real sickness, and setting moods, clicking like clicking or changing your perspectives, and it also mentions Dr. Thomas. All right, good morning. um all right, so this morning is very, very subliminal. It's not really outwardly, no one would be able to tell what kind of tormentation they're doing to me this morning. They are making it so this nostril and this nostril go back and forth. This one will be completely clogged for like 1 minute, and then they'll make it completely clear out so I could breathe 100%. And then they'll make this nostril clogged, and then they'll make it so I can only breathe out of this nostril, and they'll keep switching it back and forth. And it's not natural for nostrils to go clog, then unclog, clog, then unclog, like on command for an hour straight with no constant clog congestion. They have a way to like swell up my nasal cavities and make them produce snot. And also, like the glands in the roof of my mouth and in the back of my mouth near my tonsils and stuff, they could swell those up and make them like pus saliva, or like make my saliva get real nasty, sticky, like on command, and get it stuck in the back of my throat. And yes, this follows normal symptoms of a cold, but these guys are they're inducing symptoms of a cold. They had me coughing all week so my throat would hurt, and it wasn't normal coughing. It was coughing that was turned on and off by synthetic frequencies on command for increments of time, and then completely turned off, and I was completely normal again. This is not me being sick and then my sickness drawing into the next day. This is them using synthetic frequencies to induce symptoms of sickness, which in return makes me look like I'm sick, and then they control the symptoms of the sickness as tormentation, and it fits within the normal categories and the normal extremities of the sickness. And I'm sitting here knowing that it's not actually me. Well, now the symptoms are growing into normal cough or cold symptoms, to where they're developing into an actual cold and cough because they scored my throat so much from making me cough at work. At work, every single time I took a breath, they made it so I had to spit out a loogie and cough every single time I took a breath. It was like every time I looked this way to move a box and look this way, then I had to spit. It was like, and they were doing this the whole entire time at work, and it scratched up my throat. It hurt everything.
And they were just doing this to torment me because that's what they do at work. They have something, they have a continuous algorithm that they turn on every day, and it has a different type of torture on it, and it phases in and out with intensity, and it oscillates around my emotions. And so it makes me angry. And then it has different people like Dennis Gordon, like my probation officer, and like everybody else, and they can project their the image, or they can project the idea of these people in it, and as they're getting me mad and agitating me and replicating the symptoms of these common colds and stuff that's like so common that it will just fit right into your daily routine without them getting caught ever. That's what happens. And now they're putting my mind on mental loops, and they're burning in these negative stories and these negative attributes and negative entities of all these people that I've brushed elbows with in the past. And they're making partly fictitious stories and partly not, because if you look at it, some of the key points and data points can all be proven by legitimate facts and data on paper. So since they've messed with my mind so much, that is what I'm going off of, is by legitimate facts and legitimate data, because they have a way to make you angry at anybody they want. They could just literally put a couple clicks of your perspective by changing a frequency in your mind, and it just sets your mood, and it drops you into an angry state. It sucks. It really does. And they'll just leave you there all day if you piss them off, whoever they are. But yeah, so I'll leave it with that for today. That's my little morning get down. See that? Now I have normal symptoms. I could tell that now. Now I just have normal decongestion. But you see, they've activated my nasal cavities so much, and behind my throat and in the back of my mouth so much, that now it's like my body is already sending it's got used to sending signals. It's like it imprinted those channels in my muscle memory for temporarily, because they kept doing it, and now it's just gonna so now for like an half an hour or two, I'm gonna experience normal natural symptoms from them tormenting me with synthetically induced symptoms. And so now it's like a time release just to even get out of how they were torturing me. So now even when they turn it off, if they don't use a synthetic frequency to clear my nasal cavities, then it just sits there and resides. And now I'm just stuffed up. Like literally they could clear my nose, and I'm like, yes, finally a cleared nose. And then boom, the second they clear my nose, they remake it go back again to stuffiness. It's how they do it. And I mean, I don't know. This could all be seen as me being like a hypochondriac, but I am a very intelligent person, and I am confidently intelligent. And, you know, a doctor that can honestly listen and intelligently view these videos that I'm making for doctors and psychologists to legitimately analyze and see that I am not crazy, and I should not be labeled as some sort of medical condition predetermined before I ever got into the doctor's office. that Dr. Alex Thomas had things written down in his report about me before I ever even got into the doctor's office. How does that work? That's what I'm saying. So figure that one out. But I'll leave y'all with that. You have a good morning.